everyone. Welcome to the lecture series of physics, from which now we are going for our second chapter, ultrasonics. Now let us see what we are going to discuss under this ultrasonic chapter. So under this ultrasonics we are going to discuss about the properties of ultrasonics, its basic definition, different production methods of ultrasonics, and lastly the applications of ultrasonics. Now when we are considering that what exactly means of ultrasonics, so we have to consider this figure. Here we have shown that there are three different frequency ranges. The first range is shown, which is present at the middle, which is from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. This is the frequency range which is called as audible frequency range for human beings. So this audible frequency is from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Now the frequency range which is less than 20 Hz, it is called as infrasonics, and the frequency range which is having greater than 20 kilohertz, such waves are called as ultrasonic waves. Hence we can define ultrasonic waves or ultrasonics as the sound wave whose frequency is above the audible range, that is above 20 kilohertz, are called as ultrasonics. The wavelength of ultrasonic wave is very small, which is of the order of 0.0175 meter at room temperature. Now these are the different properties of these ultrasonic waves. It has a shorter wavelength, it travels a longer distance, it doesn't have any energy loss, its penetration power is very high, its frequency speed increases with its frequency, it can be used in the cavitation effect for the liquid purpose, it has an intense heat through a substance, and it shows reflection, refraction and absorption. Now there are two different methods for the production of this ultrasonic sound. From these two methods, the first is magnetostriction method and the second is piezoelectric method. We'll go firstly for the magnetostriction method. But before going for the magnetostriction method, we have to consider that what is this magnetostriction effect. Actually, this magnetostriction effect was discussed by the scientist Joule. In his effect, he took one of the ferromagnetic material for his experimental setup. Now ferromagnetic, we should know what is meant by ferromagnetic material or a ferromagnetic rod. There are large number of examples of this ferromagnetic rod. For example, iron, nickel, these are the typical examples of the ferromagnetic rod or ferromagnetic material. In ferromagnetic material, the magnetization is very high. All magnetic moments are moving in the same direction, but in environmental condition all magnetic moments are divided into the different domains. But even though if we use a small amount of magnetic field to this ferromagnetic material, all magnetic moments will get shifted to one direction and the domain walls are diminished and gets converted into a single domain. So this is nothing but a ferromagnetic material. So the scientist Joule, what he has done for this particular effect, he observed that when a rod of ferromagnetic material such as iron or nickel is placed in a magnetic field parallel to its length, okay, which is shown in this figure, a small extension or contraction of rod occurs. This change of length is independent of the sign of field and only depends upon the magnitude of the field and nature of the material. If rod is placed inside a coil carrying an alternating current, which results in setting up the vibrations in the rod whose frequency is twice to that of the AC. Ordinarily, the amplitude of vibration of rod is small, but however, when the frequency of AC is same as the natural frequency of rod, then resonance occurs and the amplitude of vibration is considerably increased. Sound waves are then produced or emitted from the ends of the rod. Or we can say that if the applied frequency is of the order of ultrasonic frequency, rod sends out the ultrasonic waves. So this is nothing but the effect of magnetostriction, which was explained by the scientist Joule. Now the same effect we can see in this figure. There is a magnetic rod. Sometimes there is a elongation and sometimes there is a contraction in this rod, but this elongation and contraction is very small. This effect is nothing but called as a magnetostriction effect. Then the scientist Pierce, G.W. Pierce, he used this magnetostriction effect for the production of ultrasonic waves by using his own circuit diagram for the magnetostriction method. Now let us see how he designed the circuit diagram for the magnetostriction method. In his circuit diagram, he used a nickel rod, a ferromagnetic rod, for which L1 and L2 are the two inductance coil which are wrapped as shown in the figure. One end of the inductance coil L1, it is connected to the grid circuit. Other end is connected to the high tension battery, whereas one end of coil L2 is connected to the plate of this valve, whereas other end is connected to the high tension battery. Okay, now this ferromagnetic rod which has been used in the experimental setup, it is permanently magnetized by giving magnetic field to this ferromagnetic rod. Now why we have to make it permanently magnetized? Because if we know that in environmental condition ferromagnetic material converts into the domain structure. So once it converts in the domain structure, then when we apply the magnetic field, the most of magnetic field is utilized to convert the magnetic moment from the domain in equal direction to convert it into the pure ferromagnetic material. So some of our magnetic field is utilized for this particular purpose, and we have to use the magnetic field totally for the production of ultrasonic waves. So what we have done initially, this ferromagnetic rod is permanently magnetized by giving magnetic field to it. Now let us see how it works for the production of ultrasonic waves. Now we know that one end of coil L2 is connected to the plate of this valve. This is acting as a valve. Now when the variable capacitor is present across coil L1 and high tension battery HT, and milliammeter reads the current which is produced in this whole circuit diagram. Now what happens in the working of this magnetostriction method for the LC circuit? This LC circuit, which has been observed at the right side, at the right end of this rod, it plays very important role for the production of ultrasonic waves. This is also called as Pierce oscillator. Now, in this working, it has been observed that when high tension battery is on, then one end of this high tension battery, it goes to the coil L2. Once in coil L2, the voltage or current passes, as it is wrapped around a ferromagnetic material. So because of this, the magnetization which is produced, which is present in the ferromagnetic material, is changed. Now another end of this particular coil L2, it is connected to the plate of the valve. This changed in magnetization or current, it flows towards the plate of valve through the second coil L2. Now as the plate current of the valve changes, then it is, as we have observed, the plate the other end of coil L1 is connected to this valve or grid of the valve. So plate current changes, which is fed to the inductance coil L1 through capacitor C. Once coil L1, when current passes through coil L1, magnetic flux through coil L1 also goes on changing. As magnetic flux changes, then it has been observed that milliammeter reads a maximum current. Now, because of this maximum current present in the milliammeter, which has been observed in the milliammeter, capacitor starts charging. So once capacitor is fully charged, the remaining amount of current again goes to the coil L1. So again there is a change in the magnetization or magnetic flux through this ferromagnetic rod. Now this change in the magnetic flux is again going towards the coil L2. Again coil L2 is connected to the plate of the valve, so plate current goes on increasing. Now this current again fed to the Pierce oscillator or LC circuit, which is shown at the right side of this ferromagnetic rod. So milliammeter again reads the maximum current. Due to this current, again capacitor starts charging. When it is fully charged, it passes its currents towards the coil L1, inductance coil L1, and at the same time it starts to discharge. Again, when current increases in coil L1, the magnetic flux or magnetization changes. This change in magnetic field again fed towards the coil L2, as the another end, one end of this coil L2 is connected to the plate of the valve, so plate current changes. So this process will be continued, and during this charging and discharging of LC circuit, the high AC frequency has been produced. Because of the production of high AC frequency, the production of ultrasonics is there from the ends of the ferromagnetic rod. This is nothing but the whole working of this magnetostriction method. So in this way, this magnetostriction method can be used for the production of this ultrasonic waves, which gives us the effect also and method also. With the help of this magnetostriction method, one can produce the ultrasonic waves of nearly 100 kilohertz frequency. But if we want to produce the frequencies greater than 100 kilohertz, then we can use the second method, which is called as piezoelectric method. Okay, so before going for the piezoelectric method, it is necessary to discuss what is piezoelectric effect also. So in the next lecture, we will go for the piezoelectric effect and piezoelectric method for the production of ultrasonic waves. Thank you.